Well, it might not look like it now, but last night it actually rained. So funny enough, because of that too, it was actually really cloudy, and since it was raining, I couldn't watch the meteorite shower. So I'm hoping someone else actually captured some footage of it. I can see from a distance all these towers had these like red blinking lights and all that. I'm assuming it's because people are using like telescopes or something like that. Interestingly enough, when I was looking up in the air, every time there's something flashing, it's like, is that it? It's always like an airplane. Alright, if I have time today, I'll probably try to capture some of the Vancouver sky view. Now that the smoke is gone, you can actually see stuff. It's kind of interesting reading how so many of you guys had the same exact problem with the gimbal, with the Mavic Pro. And one of them here says that 2 of your friends had the exact same problem. Wow. It's more rampant than I thought, I guess. And my Mavic Pro designed for the southern hemisphere, huh? Is it really that simple? Or is that just a way to make me take a trip down there? There was 2 little news bits that caught my attention today. I think one of them was the one that everyone's probably heard of by now. It was something in the US in, in Charlottesville. I guess people were having kind of like a peaceful protest of sorts, and for some reason, like a car just drove by, like right into the crowd, like basically using the car as a weapon from what I understand. While there was a lot of footage, I saw this one, basically there was a news station here, like the NBC, they posted one of a drone footage, and you can just kind of get like a different perspective of it. You can see what was going on, how the authorities handled it. What it made me think of is how, at times like these, like I was thinking like this guy in the US, is that how it works? Once you have, I guess, whatever license they have, you can fly over large crowds of people or whatever. Because I've often seen, you know, news organizations use these footages and it's like no issues, no problem. It makes me wonder, like, when is it going to be like that for like the regular person, like to be able to do it safely like this, to capture it? Like, I know it's dangerous and all, but when do you kind of draw the line between, I guess it's good for documentary purposes versus someone just doing it like as being an idiot? I don't know, to me it's always interesting to think about, because again, I still feel in many ways like the drones can be really useful in situations like these. It's just, what's an acceptable form of risk? Like, is it just like the size of the drone, for example? So that leads me to the most interesting story I read, because I said like drones can be used like in a good way too, and it makes me wonder, like, even with the regulations here, well, what if I was in a situation where I could use this drone in a good way to help someone, like maybe immediately, maybe he's being swept away by the ocean or something like that. Should I just sit there and say, well, I'm sorry, because of the regulations, even though there's no helicopters or anything, I just can't fly it? Because it says here, like the title of the article, it says, call for drone pilots to assist in searching for 2 missing men. It says here, rescue teams have been left scratching their heads after fishermen found 2 bags containing clothes, mobile phones, and shoes at around 5 a.m. this morning. But the 2 bicycles are nowhere to be seen. And according to this, is located in a Blata, tal-Melh. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But it says they believe that the 2 belong to 2 missing boys. And one of them is about 21 years old. And it says because of the winds over the past few days in that area, their fear was they went for a swim or something like that. So yeah, they just don't know where it is. So they're actually asking for drone pilots, I guess, like anyone, like recreational, I suppose, to try to find anything. If anyone's in the area, has a drone, fly it around, like tell us if you see anything, to contact that number. Now obviously you can talk about all the other stuff, like obviously if it's a high wind, then you really want like to fly like a regular consumer drone there and all that. But it made me think, like, I would wonder if this is how it's going to be in the future. Like people like search and rescue, or people go missing, like they ask for the help of the public. Almost no difference than here. Like you have things like alerts. If a child goes missing, like anybody, who cares? You're a car driver or whatever, keep alert. But it's kind of interesting. Like here they specifically ask for drone flyers. Which raises the question again, what if people can use it in a good way? I mean, people need to think about this, I feel, like especially here, since we have like one of those, those public meetings right now about the drone regulations in Canada. I mean, that's an important topic in my opinion. Or like there's my example again, actually, I was just joking before, like what if people were swept away from a river or something like that and I can use my drone? Like same thing here, should I be able to use it? Or no, should I not, because I'm afraid of getting hammered down by the regulations and all that? Right. Let's capture some sunlight stuff here. It'll look really different than all the smoke-filled days. So you guys can actually see what Vancouver looks like. I can't obviously go right in downtown because of the regulations, but at least you'll get to see some here. I think this was some cool shots. You guys would have saw it by now. I wasn't able to get everything I wanted because as I mentioned now, it seems like when I go up too high with the gimbal, it starts shaking like crazy because normally it would actually stop you from going too high. But you can see like here, it actually went too high and yeah, I started having the earthquake effect. Tomorrow should be the first working day, so let's see if DJI responds and if I get that template response or not. Anyways, see you guys later.